Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. The past 2 weeks have not been pretty for Sam Darnold. In 2 weeks, this man has gone from basically the guaranteed comeback player of the year, a borderline MVP candidate for some, a man who led the Vikings to a 14-3 season, a guy who's gonna get a massive contract this offseason, to a guy who seems to be back to his old ways. The ways of being stagnant on offense, missing blatant throws, throwing interceptions, looking as if there are literal ghosts on the field, and losing games. Monday night's game against the Rams was a travesty. A 27-9 loss. Sam Darnold, 245 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Darnold never got this offense going. He didn't feed his normal targets. Justin Jefferson, 5 receptions, 58 yards. Jordan Addison was basically a non-factor, 3 receptions, 29 yards. Now, I will give Sam Darnold the benefit of the doubt. The Rams defense played a great game. They pummeled the Vikings offensive line. Darnold was sacked 9 times. I get that. But all in all, Sam Darnold did not play good enough when it mattered most. This is a team that we were talking about potentially being the 1 seed in the NFC just 2 weeks ago. And even after they lost to the Lions, and it wasn't close, the idea was still that the Vikings are this dark horse Super Bowl team. There's no way they're going to lose to the Rams, right? However, recently, Sam Darnold has looked like the quarterback that I remember with my Carolina Panthers. Now, the Vikings are in a really weird place because you have J.J. McCarthy, who's going to be coming back from injury. He was supposed to be your franchise guy this year, and now that he's back, you want to get him comfortable with Kevin O'Connell's scheme as soon as possible if you see him in your long-term plans. However, before these past 2 weeks, it seemed definite. You bring Sam Darnold back on a long-term deal, and even some analysts thought you go all in on Sam Darnold and you trade J.J. McCarthy. I believe we just saw Sam Darnold play his final game for the Vikings, and it's going to cost him millions. I don't believe he gets a huge contract from the Vikings. Now, do I believe that Sam Darnold is a starter in 2025? Absolutely. One team is going to look at this season and understand it's too big to pass up on. The guy threw for a career high in every single stat, led the Vikings to a very successful regular season. I mean, they fought for the division, almost got the 1 seed. One team is going to throw this man a bag. It's just how these things go. I could see 2 teams really looking to bring Darnold in, and that's first the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though Russell Wilson played better than I thought, it's clear he's not going to be the guy long term. His age alone is going to put him out of that. I don't have faith in Justin Fields. I don't trust his arm. I don't trust his ability long term, and I don't think the Steelers do either. I believe Fields walks in free agency, which makes Darnold a prime candidate. Sam Darnold could help the Steelers continue to battle in a very contested AFC North. I know Darnold would not have the weapons that he has in Minnesota. There's absolutely no help in the wide receiver room in Pittsburgh, but I will say it over and over. If Mike Tomlin, who I know is taking a lot of heat right now, but if Mike Tomlin could lead Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett to the playoffs, he could lead Sam Darnold to the playoffs. Darnold would get significantly better support from the defensive side of the ball, with the Steelers having a borderline top 10 defense. The real problem here is that the Steelers may not have the money that Sam Darnold wants. Sam Darnold just had a career year. He's going to want a bag. The Steelers may not have the money quite like the Las Vegas Raiders. Look, the Raiders are a disastrous franchise, but Sam Darnold knows a thing or two about a disastrous franchise. He was drafted by the New York freaking Jets. The Raiders have the cap space, and they have the 6th overall pick, so if they sign Sam Darnold, they wouldn't have to draft a quarterback in the draft, and they could take a guy like Arizona's Tech McMillan to pair alongside him. The Raiders haven't hinted at who the next coach is after Antonio Pierce got absolutely screwed, but it's going to probably be an offensive-minded guy, possibly even a Ben Johnson, and if this were to be the case, I absolutely see a world where Sam Darnold is a Raider. But I want to hear from you. Where do you think Sam Darnold is going to be in 2025? Do you think that the Vikings should re-sign him on a long-term deal? Do you think that he bounces back? Let me know down in the comments, because this offseason is going to be really fun.